The future of transportation is electric, and Tesla is leading the way. They recently made a big deal with another big company in their field, and they also made a lot of progress in this country, where the EV craze is taking over. First, we'll look at the world of hospitality, where Hilton Hotels and Resorts partners with Tesla to supercharge your stay. Then, we'll take you to China, where Tesla's electric vehicle journey is experiencing remarkable growth. But that's not all. We'll also look at the changing landscape of electric vehicle charging with major automakers. Before we start this exciting journey, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to Tesla Stock News to get all the latest news. Now, let's look at the Tesla stories that are making waves. China and Hilton. Tesla has formed a strategic partnership with Hilton Hotels and Resorts. This is a big step toward expanding its supercharger network and making long-distance travel easier for owners of electric vehicles. Starting in early 2024, Hilton plans to install a large infrastructure of 20,000 Tesla Universal Wall connector plugs across 2,000 of its hotel properties in the US, Canada, and Mexico. This big project will make Hilton the leader in the hospitality industry when it comes to EV charging networks. Currently, 1,580 Hilton-branded hotels around the world have EV chargers, showing that the company is committed to meeting the needs of its environmentally conscious guests. Hilton's decision to invest in expanding its EV charging infrastructure is based on the growing demand from travelers for reliable charging facilities. Hilton has seen a big increase in customers looking for EV charging options while they're on the road. The number of searches on Hilton's website for EV charging information has also grown a lot. Notably, this increase has moved EV charging-related queries from the fourth to the second highest category in terms of conversions to bookings. For travelers, having easy access to charging stations is often the most important factor in their choice of accommodation. It's interesting that Hilton's old data showed that one of the most popular search terms that led to room bookings was airport shuttle service. Hilton's properties may become even more appealing to the growing number of EV owners if they have a lot of charge stations for them. It's important to tell the difference between the Tesla and other EVs. Hilton's Universal Wall plugs and Tesla's well-known supercharger network are both used to charge Tesla electric cars, but they charge at different speeds and cost different amounts. The Tesla supercharger network offers fast DC charging, which is a faster way to charge an EV's battery. The wall connectors, on the other hand, give a cheaper but slower AC charging option. This approach lets Tesla serve a wider range of customers, including those who care more about speed or cost-effectiveness when it comes to charging. This partnership between Tesla and Hilton is a big step forward for EV infrastructure. It will make traveling by electric vehicle easier and more accessible for a wider range of customers. As the world moves toward more environmentally friendly transportation, partnerships like these are likely to play a big part in encouraging the growth and adoption of electric vehicles. Rebecca Tanucci, Tesla's Senior Director of Charging Infrastructure, said that the company's plan to place low-cost, convenient AC charging infrastructure in key locations is a perfect fit with the changing needs of electric vehicle owners. The goal is clear: putting in infrastructure at famous spots like Hilton Hotels will let EV owners charge their cars where they park them, so they won't have to make any unnecessary stops along the way. This strategy shows Tesla's commitment to making EV charging easier to get to and cheaper, so its growing user base can have a smooth and quick charging experience. In the meantime, Tesla's supercharger network continues to attract major automakers. For example, Honda has announced that starting in 2025, it will include the North American charging standard plug in its new EVs. Honda's electric cars will now have native access to Tesla's supercharger network. This will make Honda's EVs more appealing, and the company plans to release an adapter plug in 2025 so that its older EVs that use the CCS standard can still work with Tesla's network. It's important to note that starting next year, other automotive partners like GM, Ford, and Mercedes will be able to get the supercharger network early. This is another big change in the landscape of EV charging infrastructure that will have an effect on network owners like EVgo, ChargePoint, and Blink. These companies used to try to stay neutral in the charging wars by supporting a number of different charging standards. However, they are now adding more and more NACS plugs to their stations to accommodate the growing number of vehicles that can use the Tesla charging standard. The hard part for charging network operators is finding the right mix between keeping costs low and helping a wide range of EV users. Run a charging network can be hard because of the high startup costs and fluctuating usage rates that come with it. This makes it a tough business opportunity. The recent problems that ChargePoint has been having with its stock, after reporting earnings that were lower than expected, show how unstable the industry is. At the same time, Tesla is continuing to form partnerships with big names like Hilton, which plans to put 20,000 Tesla Universal Wall connector plugs in 2,000 of its hotels in the US, Canada, and Mexico. No question, this project will strengthen Hilton's position as a leader in the hotel industry's EV charging infrastructure, giving its eco-friendly guests a useful service. Hilton, a famous hotel chain that runs many well-known brands like Embassy Suites, Hampton Inn, and DoubleTree, has been paying attention to how its guest needs are changing. For example, more and more customers are looking for places to charge their electric cars while they're on the go. Some interesting things can be learned from Hilton's website data. The number of searches for EV charging has grown the fastest so far this year, going from the fourth most popular category to the second most popular in terms of real stays. This change in customer taste shows how much more people want easy ways to charge their electric vehicles while traveling with Hilton. In order to meet this demand, Hilton previously said that being able to use an airport shuttle from a hotel was the most popular search query that led to room bookings. Now, with the increased interest in EV charging, Hilton is changing its services to match the changing needs of its guests. It's important to note that the Tesla universal wall connectors being used by Hilton are not the same as Tesla's famous supercharger network. Both charge Tesla electric vehicles, but they do so at different speeds and for different prices. The Tesla supercharger network offers fast DC charging, which is a faster way to charge an electric vehicle's battery. The wall connectors, on the other hand, give a cheaper but slower ACC charging option. By taking this strategic method, Tesla can serve a wider range of customers, including those who value either speed or price. Effectiveness in how they choose to charge. Rebecca Tanucci, Tesla's Senior Director of Charging Infrastructure, reaffirmed the company's dedication to putting in low-cost, user-friendly AC charging stations wherever EVs are parked for long periods of time, usually more than an hour or two. The focus on accessibility and affordability is in line with Tesla's larger goal to make charging EVs easy and convenient for its growing community of users. By putting this kind of infrastructure in popular places like Hilton hotels, electric vehicle owners will not have to stop for unnecessary refueling on their trips, making for a smooth and efficient travel experience. In the meantime, Tesla continues to grow its supercharger network by adding another major automotive partner, Chevy. Honda has said that starting in 2025, its new EVs will come with the North American Charge standard plug. This move gives Honda's electric vehicles direct access to Tesla's supercharger network, which will make its EVs more appealing. Honda also plans to release an adapter plug in 2025 so that its older EVs models can still use the CCS standard. It is important to remember that GM, Ford, and Mercedes, along with other Tesla charging partners, will be able to use the supercharger network early next year. This will give them an advantage over other charging partners. This new development is a big step forward in Tesla's efforts to work together with well-known automakers. It also helps the movement toward electric cars as more automakers join forces with Tesla and adopt common charging standards. The ecosystem for electric vehicles is changing, which is good for owners because it makes things easier and more accessible. But these changes don't come without problems. For example, charging network operators like EVgo, ChargePoint, and Blink are now adding NACS plugs to their stations to support the growing number of vehicles that are compatible with the Tesla charging standard, but running a charging network is expensive because of the high startup costs and low usage rates in the evolving US electric vehicle market. ChargePoint, for example, reported a Q2 net loss and margin compression, highlighting the complexity and financial problems that come with running charging infrastructure. Even with these problems, the charging industry is still changing, with companies working to solve technical and logistical problems so they can better serve the growing number of EV users. This is another good sign. Compared to August 2022, Tesla's EV sales in China almost doubled in August 2023. This growth was caused by strong demand for Tesla's Model 3 and Model Y cars. China is the biggest market for electric cars in the world, so Tesla's growth there is especially important. The fact that Tesla is so successful in China shows how strong its brand is and how good its cars are. China's sales of passenger cars got better in August, bringing them back to growth levels seen the previous year. Sales are up again because of a number of things, such as lower prices, new tax breaks for electric cars, and a general improvement in buyer confidence, even though the economy is still bad. In China's EV market, Tesla especially saw big gains, nearly doubling its market share in August compared to the previous month. Big discounts on Tesla's EVs made them even more appealing, which strengthened its place in the Chinese market. According to the China Passenger Car Association, sales of cars rose by 2.2% year over year in August, reaching 1.94 million units. This was the first monthly gain since May, which shows that the car market is turning around for the better. Sales also went up 8.5% compared to July, which shows that the first 8 months of the year were very good. China sold 13.38 million cars, which is 1.8% more than the previous year. This steady rise shows how strong the Chinese auto industry is, even though price competition is getting tougher. The strong success of this sector fits with the government's goals to encourage environmentally friendly transportation. Tesla, which made waves earlier this year for starting a price war, kept making news with more price hikes. Price cuts in the domestic market. Even with these price cuts, Tesla's redesigned Model 3 had a starting price that was 12% higher than its old base model. This made it harder to sell. Tesla's Model Y, which is made in China, had great sales in August, with 65,316 units delivered, making it the best-selling passenger car model.